Hi everyone, welcome to today's session where we're looking at captivating collaboration with Office 365 and Microsoft Teams. And of course, we'll get into the Microsoft Educator Center to look at a badge and some of the courses that go along with today's session. I think in the diary it had a kind of good amount of time for the session. We'll certainly just go through at quite a rapid pace, and if people are looking for more information on something, then by all means put something in the chat, or if you're watching this on catch up, make sure to reach out to us on social media and we'll do what we can to support you. So we're going to have lots of hints, tips and tricks, and just share some thoughts about how we would go about using these Microsoft tools with our classes. So kind of as a by way of introduction, Tablet Academy Scotland and Microsoft are super excited to welcome you to these online events, which are being hosted for Scottish educators and then made available to watch again on demand afterwards. And that's across this school session of 2021-22. And it is the first time Microsoft have had a proper investment in CPD in terms of formalising their arrangement for Scotland over the course of an entire school session. So we're happy to take feedback along the way as well. So if there's sessions you think that should be happening for your local authority, or something you particularly want to learn or understand at a national level, or something really kind of tool focused, then absolutely let us know and we'll see if we can add that to the roster of events. But we're very much hoping that it will be led by Scottish educators and driven by the needs of Scottish educators. And I know Microsoft understand the importance of making that happen. So hopefully we've got the people that we have along with us today. Niall, who you can hopefully see, I'll let Niall introduce himself.
Hey everyone, I'm Niall. I'm currently working with Tablet Academy Scotland, so we're really excited for today's session in partnership with Microsoft. And we've also got Ian Vosser, so I'll let him go for it.
So that's me. I am Ian Vosser. I'm working with Tablet Academy Scotland as one of their digital transformation specialists, so providing advice to both schools and local authorities on how they can make best use of digital technology. And I've certainly got a lot of experience in terms of working with the Microsoft platforms, because I'm based in a school that uses Microsoft Teams and Office 365. But wider than that, I make use of an iPad in my day-to-day use, and previously dabbled with the Google for Education items as well. So you're certainly very, very welcome. And please do, as we're going along, if there's anything you're not sure, make sure you're putting a little question into the chat and we'll hopefully get that answered. In terms of Microsoft certifications, I've already engaged with the certification program. So they've got a Microsoft Innovator Educator, and we'll look at how we get our MIE today, and that can be upgraded to an expert status as well. So you might have seen the Team MIEE Scotland hashtag out and about. By all means, have a look at that on Twitter, because there's loads of stuff and loads of support going on, which is really nice. There's a really valuable community that you can reach out to right across Scotland to get support. And then on top of that, Microsoft, in terms of their Office side of things, they have a Office Specialist certification route as well. So in terms of across those Office packages, and especially focused on the Office 365, which is what we're going to look at today, I've really delved deep into those. So hopefully, if there's difficult questions, Niall will be able to answer them. And if they're slightly easier ones, then I'll pick those ones up. So that's how I'm sure it's going to work. In terms of in the chat, I think you should have access to the chat. So do say hello to us in the chat and share your Twitter handles or whatever, and we can give you a little shout out as well. So introductions are very welcome. But to give you kind of a run through on today's plan, I'm a little bit laggy. I press the button. I'll blame my internet connection. Oh,
sorry, Ian. May you just start sharing your screen just for us, just so that we can see?
Oh, did it stop sharing?
Thank you. Sorry, I thought that was still the introduction there. There we go. Perfect.
Oh, you see, I froze a bit earlier and the screen disappeared. That must have been
that's what's happened. Perfect. Thank you.
Oh well, did you see our pretty pictures? I'll go back a slice so you can see. Did everyone see those? Yeah, that's good. All right. Okay. Well,
Beautiful.
I'll move on and tell you what the outline for today is. Well, little kind of welcome from us and a little introduction to Office 365, and then we'll make sure we go and have a look at some of the collaboration tools that we have available for us in Office. So, as you'd expect, we're going to have a little touch on Word, a little touch on PowerPoint, dive in and just make sure we all know about Sway and Forms, and that's going to be a real whistle-stop tour right across the packages there. And then we will dive into the Microsoft Educator Center before moving on and looking at Microsoft Teams, and then a bit of Q&A. But I think if we can get Q&A going along the way, that's great. And if we're ahead of these times, then that's no problem as well. So we're going to do our best just to kind of highlight things to you that we think will be really useful for you to use. So before we really get into using Microsoft Office 365 and collaboration, one of the things I'd really like to point out is the Microsoft Office Lens. If you haven't downloaded this app on your smartphone or your tablet device, I would absolutely recommend getting it downloaded. Basically, it allows you to take work that has been done, say on paper, or it's been typed out or written out, and you can scan it with your mobile phone, and you've got the ability to be able to make it as a photo, save it as a PDF. I've got it downloaded on my device here. It literally is my pocket scanner, and I think in terms of having the ability to save items that have been done not on a device and then be able to get them shared, it's a really powerful tool and an app that's well worth getting your hands on if you can. So by way of introduction, let's get the work that we have done in terms of on paper, let's get that digitized so we can start moving towards that paperless classroom. And people use that term paperless classroom fairly regularly. For me, that doesn't mean we're not using paper. That means we have the ability to be able to do stuff on paper, but then capture it digitally. We're not printing stuff out, is my view on that. We're not running sheets and sheets of things out. We're able to do things digitally where we can. But actually, should young people be doing things handwritten? Should they be doing analog work as well? Absolutely, they should be doing stuff offline, and then we have the ability to be able to digitize that and capture it. I think the days are gone are the days of us maybe printing off hundreds of gap fill worksheets. We know they can be removed from our daily activities with some sort of digital activity. So collaboration, if you can still see my screen, in Office 365. That's our first activity or first part for the day. And in terms of basing the Office 365 around, it's always nice in my mind to start with the storage side of things. So where is everything stored and how does that change our mindset? Well, I'm very much moving to this idea of operating in the cloud first. So Office 365 is a purely cloud-based service. And the idea behind things being in a cloud is you can access them from any internet connected device. So you can see here on my pretty little slide, I've got PCs, I've got all-in-ones, I've got kind of mobile-looking device. You get it on a tablet device, you get it on a laptop device, netbook, Chromebook. It works across all those devices, and because you're logging into the service and the service is being provided online, you're going to get the same quality of service across all of the activities, across all of the different products that are available, and that consistency in services is really important. So before we log into that Office 365, it's just kind of going, right, cloud-based, I've got all my files up in the cloud, they're completely secured. And when we're talking about security, we're talking about some of the best security in the world that's keeping these cloud bases secured. The weak points are people having weak passwords or telling other people their passwords or staying logged on when they should have logged off. The security threat isn't with how it's encrypted or where it's stored, because obviously schools have important information about young people, but much of that is maybe not stored in cloud services. But there are other businesses and organisations who are using this to store really sensitive information, and it is industry grade security that's keeping the cloud safe. And we get to access that because, especially if you're based in Scotland, I see many people have connected using their Glow accounts today. You know, the Glow account users are using some of the best Office 365 security that's available. So being able to have all that information stored remotely means you've got no fear of, you know, having the days of, oh dear me, my USB pen drive or my my floppy disk drive or my CD drive is broken. You know, it's all there and it's connected and available all the time. I like the idea as well of being able to edit things like my lesson plans or going in and marking children's work from my device as well. Literally everything is at my fingertips. So staying connected is really important. So there we have everything in the cloud. A cloud first mindset means I can work on anything, anywhere, providing I've got an internet connected device. So if you haven't got anything stored in your Glow OneDrive, if you're a Glow user, or in your Microsoft OneDrive, if you're not using it through Glow, then I would certainly start dipping your toe in the water with that. And I'm going to give you an introduction to those services right now. I guess as we go through, we've got a bit of might be worth kind of making a bit of a checklist or kind of ticking things off as we go, like, can I store items in OneDrive? Do I know how to access my Word documents online? Do I know how to access my PowerPoints, etc.? So let's get to know Office 365. Of course, the first place we need to start, like with any of these services, is logging in. Now, if you're logging in and you're using Glow, then obviously you can go to your Glow Launchpad, and from your Glow Launchpad you can sign in using you know, your Glow username and password, and it will automatically connect you into your Microsoft services. If you're not connecting through Glow, let's say your organization sits outside of Glow, then you would sign in using going to office365.com, office.com. There's a few Microsoft websites, but you get to the welcome to the Microsoft Office website and you get that button that says sign in. Clicking on that brings up your Microsoft sign in box and you just type in your email address. Now, if you're a Glow user, you can still use this box to log in. You just stick your Glow username in at glow.sch.uk. So people sometimes ask me, how do I get myself signed in? It's those details, Glow username at glow.sch.uk. And then it should ask you for your password, and within a few moments you'll have logged in and connected. So hopefully, once you're logged in, you'll head yourself to your home page.
Miss Jennings called you.
Caught
an
by
announcement there.
Important announcement, yeah. Was there some questions as we were going there? No, there was everything.
Yeah, there was just we had one from Mrs. McLean asking to see a bit more about the Microsoft Office Lens, which we can do just during the break. Later on, we can have a wee look at that. And we've also got a great comment from Miss Cackett as well, saying that stories can get confusing for many staff as there are so many ways to get to one file. So people can get a little bit lost. So if they've saved a file, but where did it go? Where is it? And is there an easy way to demonstrate and explain that? So certainly I use a lot of folders and organizing folders by color, and organizing that way. Different kind of folders lead, like a general theme will then lead into something smaller and smaller and smaller again. Ian, have you got any tips there?
Yeah, so I guess you've got that. I try and encourage people always to put things in the cloud first, so a cloud first approach. So even if we're operating in school and we've got access to be able to store stuff to our school network, I'd suggest that people save it to their OneDrive, and then try not to download it from there, but to try and edit it online. And I know every local authority has a slightly different setup with whether or not and how they can connect to the OneDrive easily. So I know some local authorities have the OneDrive mapped in as a drive, so you know they'll have their home folders and their staff shared area, and then everyone has access to their own individual OneDrive. So that obviously makes it really easy because it's in that Windows Explorer window that everyone's used to using for their normal files. But I try and say if you've got it in OneDrive, sign into Office and then go into OneDrive and open it from OneDrive and try and organize your OneDrive like you would used to organize your folder and file structure when you had your own network space. And does it take a little bit longer initially to get things up there and get used to that? Yes, I think it does. And if you've got an internet connection that's a bit slower, sometimes the wait time is a little bit longer, but we're talking a couple of seconds. So it's not the be all and end all, in my view, for the convenience of having my files readily available wherever I have to work. And, we look back to that situation where in lockdown, we all end up having to go home at quite short notice. And I know some of my colleagues are wanting to get back in the building to be able to log in to download files onto their pen drive or whatever. That wasn't something that I experienced because it was all in my cloud-based storage. So, when you go in and you see this home page, you do have an option to be able to customize it and personalize it. So you can go into the settings cog in the top right-hand corner, and you can change the color schemes, and you can change how it welcomes you and things. And I think, personalizing it is quite important. Niall obviously spoken about personalizing his folder experience and being able to customize what that looks like. I think all of those little things take a little bit of time to set up, but then it helps you know where things are and it helps you to recognize things. So I guess what we want to do really is start exploring the features of Office 365 and some of the spaces that we have available, and use some of the apps like Sway, Forms, Word and OneDrive to see. And it's going to be a bit of a whistle-stop tour, just highlighting some of the bits we like. Now, hopefully, my slide moves on. He talks about.
It's gone to waffle in the top left.
Yeah, that's good.
So,
in terms of in the top left-hand corner, you'll see there's 9 dots up by Office 365. That is indeed called the waffle. Not only does that feature sound delicious, but it's also really useful. It should be the shortcut that you see across all the Microsoft apps that are available to you. And people sometimes ask me, what do you call that? And I'm like, that is the waffle. That's its official name. And when you see the waffle, you'll be able to click into that and you get access to all the apps. And effectively, it's just one way to navigate through Office 365. But it's handy to know that it will always be in that top left-hand corner. So if you need to find it, you can get in and click on that. And quite often in the mornings, I will go in and the first thing I will look at is my Outlook, and then I will navigate from through the waffle into Teams, doing that online. And the browser I'm using at the moment is Microsoft Edge. And then I'll probably head into my OneDrive and potentially work on some files and things if I don't have those files stored in Teams. So here's me tapping on the waffle there, opening it up, and you can see here that you've got your apps available, but you've also got those recently used documents as well down the bottom. So that's quite handy for picking up where you were working last. I think what's also really nice to know about that is you can also go into the document and it remembers whereabouts in the document you were working last as well. So I think that's a really nice feature that's available. Of course, if there's an app that you can't see, you've got the option there to click on all apps to go in and get yourself a little bit more open up to see all the apps that are available. So looking at the apps ribbon, that's a nice place for us to be able to click in and select the different apps that are available to us. It's probably the ribbon is the easiest way to navigate through different apps. And of course, using language like the ribbon is what we will see when we get into Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint. Everyone's familiar with those ribbons that run across the top of the page as well. That's not the complete set, of course, of Microsoft apps that are available, but I guess it's the pretty common ones that you need there is that option to be able to click on the Explore All Your Apps option if you want to see a little bit more there. Explore all your apps, and that would open up and show you all your apps. Down the bottom of this page is, of course, those recently used documents that you can see in this area here, and that's a good place to see what you've been working on last, or what other people have been working on as well. So when we were getting this presentation together for today, I could see when Niall had gone in and made changes. You could see when I'd gone in and made changes, and that just helps us keep on top of the workflow to see. Oh, it sounds like we've got a mouse. The mouse needs a new battery, or you were hunting for mice in your office, one of the two. So we can go in and we can see who it's been working on it and when it's been last opened by ourselves as well. The nice thing, of course, about anything that you're working on in Office 365 is it's automatically saving as you work, syncing with the cloud. So if you have a sudden power outage or you have to shut your computer down and move on quickly, there's no worry or concern about needing to make sure it's saved. It will have automatically synced and saved. Of course, you've also got the option here to be able to within the recent section, that's what you've been working on recently. But next to that, you've obviously got the option to be able to pin items as well. So if you've got a planner that you're using across the year, you can go in and you can plan that, pin that, so you can easily access that plan in the future. I particularly like pinning things to the menu because I think it's just a nice way to be able to access those things that you regularly access. We've also got the Discover section that's available to use there. In terms of the Discover tab, it shows documents that you share with others that have been recently edited by them. So, you know, if I was waiting on Niall, and I'm never waiting on Niall because he is very organised.
Very punctual.
He's often waiting for me. I can I can go in and see when he's made those changes. So if I've been waiting for someone to add some weekly highlights to a class newsletter or something, then I'll be able to go in and see when discover whether those changes have been made or not. And of course, as you'd expect across all Office 365 options, you've got the ability as well to be able to search across both the files and folders on your Office 365. Great. So in terms of personalizing, I guess hopefully you're starting to think of ways that Office 365 are going to help you to be able to organize your classroom. And I said about customizing this homepage because it's somewhere that you can use as a launch pad to be able to get yourself heading to other places. So in the top right hand corner for the personalization, you'll see your little profile picture, sometimes called your avatar. And when you click on it, you see a little circle, and you'll also be able to add your picture in there. So if you haven't got a picture, it's well worth either putting a picture up. I've got some lovely pictures of myself, so I'm more than happy to stick a picture up. But some people maybe don't like being in front of the camera so much. That's fine. Try a Bitmoji or try a little graphic that you can create to get that live. I mean, that would work really nicely. Of course, we've got some other settings in there as well. You have to add in, there's the profile picture change. You can also go in and update your profile. So that allows you to make some other changes. Now, some of those profile bits might be set by your administrator, so you might not be able to change those. And you've also got the option to be able to go in and change some settings as well. And I guess in terms of personalizing the experience, you can, that's me skipping on to help. In terms of personalizing that experience, theme colors, I certainly know I get my young people to do this in class. Quite often I see like greens and pinks and blues are quite common colors for people to be changing their themes to, just to be a bit more softer on the eye. And of course, within those settings as well, there's the ability to be able to password change as well, which for Glow users might need to happen in Glow itself, but for people outside of Glow, you've got that. So those settings are determined a little bit by your administrator. And of course, if you're looking for more information there, just to point you towards the help section that's available as well. If there's things that have been happening, like files have been changing, or there's some information about people accessing documents you've shared or liking emails, you can see that in your notifications as well, which just help you keep up to date. So that's the Office 365 Launchpad. A little bit of a quick introduction, but worth running through. Really keen now for us to dive a little bit deeper into OneDrive, which was something that I started off by introducing. So I would say, for me, OneDrive is key to my workflow, especially because I'm creating documents and wanting other people to work on them and contribute to them. So what is OneDrive? Well, it's our cloud-based storage, and you effectively got your kind of virtual place in terms of keeping yourself safe, but it also acts as a kind of connector for all the other apps that we have available, because we can kind of launchpad into them. So, in terms of talking about work, we can talk about spreadsheets, we can talk about videos, we can talk about pictures, we can talk about documents, and for people who are in Glow, pretty much you've got unlimited space, and the file sizes that you're limited to are pretty much limitless as far as we're concerned. So it's really easy to be able to keep everything together in one place. Has my screen stopped sharing again, Niall, or am I all okay?
Oh, you're all good.
Good. So to get into OneDrive, there's a nice little OneDrive logo there. We just connect into OneDrive, got that highlighted there, and that's the app. And then when we go in, OneDrive opens up, and we can see from OneDrive, just kind of give you a bit of a tour of how it says it. Remember, yours might look slightly different if your administrator settings are slightly different, or if you've already gone through that kind of personalization process. But broadly, you'll all see the same thing. So you've got your files section, which is effectively your files and folders as you would expect to see, and that's right bang in the center there with all the files that you've got listed. And yes, these are ones that are created by you, but they might also be ones that you've made available for other people to access as well. So who's modified them last may not be you. On the left-hand side, if I just highlight that area there, you can see you've got that waffle as you'd expect in the top left-hand corner, but you've also got your files, your recent section, your shared section, your discover section, and your recycle bin. So in terms of the file section, that's your own personal files. In terms of the recent section, that's files that you've recently worked on, and these include files that you've created and those that you've kind of shared with other people. If you're selecting the shared option, so I wonder if I do that, so that's the files. If I was to tap on recent, there's all the documents that have been recently changed. I think if I tap here, there is the shared ones. So the shared files will show files that have been shared with you by your colleagues. So if Niall was to share a file with me, I would see it in my shared section. And if a young person added me to a document and I wanted to be able to see that, I need to look in the shared file because they have done the sharing. So that's the place to look. And then, as I expect, as you know, I've already referenced the Discover section, and that's where updates by other people have happened. And then the Recycle bin, if anything gets deleted, the deleted files will end up there. Now, if you delete a file, it's not gone because it's in your Recycle bin, you can go and get it back. If you delete it from your Recycle bin, it's worth contacting your Glow key contact or your administrator for OneDrive because nothing is really deleted immediately. It's retained for safeguarding and security purposes. So providing you've got a fair idea of when you deleted the file, what the file might have been called and what type of file it was it a Word document or was it a PowerPoint, then it's well worth contacting them and giving them as much detail as you can, and they can try and recover it to you. Of course, if you can't find what you're looking for, because you're not sure who created it or where it was saved or who was working on it last, then use the search bar And as long as you've got a fairly good criteria, the search bar is usually a winner for finding things. And it also searches in the recycle bin as well. So it's looking everywhere. So that certainly helps in terms of looking for something that's potentially lost. If you've got a kind of connection with SharePoint, then of course your files might be displayed there as well, just depending on how that's been set up. And of course, SharePoint is another option for file storage, along with Microsoft Teams within those file sections. And when you use that search everything everywhere box, that also searches Teams as well, just depending on the settings of your domain. But for us Flow users, we should feel the experience of it being searched. It's being searched everywhere. So because OneDrive houses all your files, I guess you could think of it like your online filing cabinet, and you want to be able to find things as easily as you can. Of course, some people have within their file section a shared with everyone folder, and depending on when your Glow account was created, and this depends on your administrator settings again. If your Glow account was created a few years ago, a slightly more experienced member of staff, then that shared with everyone folder, if you put stuff in there, it is publicly available. So it's just worth being aware that there is that folder there, and if you drop something in it, then everyone might be able to. Excuse me. A lot of talking non-stop. It might
doing
be,
well.
Thank you. It might be that people couldn't see that. So if you've got a shared with everyone folder in your OneDrive, just be aware that will make things either available to everyone in your organisation. So that would be everyone on Glow, and some administrators have it set up so it's publicly available. So just make sure you check your share settings there. In terms of creating folders and files, there is that new button, and when I tap on the new button, I get the option to create a folder, so I can organize my files really nicely. But I've also got that ability to create files like Word documents, Excels, PowerPoints, and I think, that's a nice, I've gone from my Office 365 home page, I've gone into my OneDrive through the apps ribbon, and then from there I'm creating things. And if we were showing our colleagues who were just making those initial steps instead of good practice and how to create things and where to store them, while it might feel a bit process driven to go through those steps, it will mean that then when they come to hopefully find things later, they definitely save things in the right place. You've also got the ability, as well as to being able to, you can see the last option there is to link, so you could link to other files and places as well. You have got the ability to upload as well. So if someone's got all their stuff currently on a network drive and they want to go cloud-based, then I would strongly recommend they look at uploading their files and folders. And you can upload folders at a time, and you can upload really big folders as well. There's no limit to the number of files or folders. And sometimes if you've got folder names that are really long or have got some funny characters in them, you can sometimes be a bit unhappy. And also if your internet connection isn't that reliable, or you've got a network where you've got lots of school children logging on and off, I try and do it at a quieter part of the day, because it will be faster and also be less likely for packets of data to collide as they go across the school network and off out into the internet. So pick those folders and upload them on bulk, and that's great. And if you've got items that are on a shared drive, so they're available for your colleagues to work, you can upload those to your drive, and you can then share them out with the same colleagues. So you can be really granular with the access. So here on a Mac, if I was uploading, I'd open up my local drive, I'd pick which area I'd like to upload from, and then I would let the uploading happen. So it's got a bit of file management built in. So once you've got files uploaded, you can start managing them. You've got that option for kind of selecting them using the checkboxes, and then you've got the options along the top there to be able to share them, copy links, delete, move to, and you can do that for individual files, or you can do it on bulk or in bulk. I'm not sure. So I've selected here, say this attachments file. I can then go up and I've got those options there. Do I want to share it, copy the link, download it, delete, move it? And you'll see that you've also got I'm looking for the, that's good. Where am I yet? So I've got the menu there. So I've also got the option as well to be able to do sorting of my files. So if I'm looking for something at a different time, then I can go for the little drop-down menu, say, oh, okay. So if I just go back, you see here I've got attachments selected. I've got the 3 dots to the right of the attachments just before the dates there. That's my ellipsis. If I click on that ellipsis, or I refer to it as the More menu, if I click on that More menu, I've got the ability to be able to perform tasks with that particular file or folder as well. So that More menu is particularly useful, and that appears after you've selected the document. On some newer devices, it might appear when you hover over the folder or file as well. Of course, you can search for things and change which order they're in. And if you're ever looking for more information on a file that you've selected, once you've ticked it or clicked it, there's a little information, little eye that you can find in the top right-hand corner. That's useful for clicking on to be able to get more information or more actions about the document. So sometimes that's a good management tool to kind of check in and see if changes have been made, or if it's the document you think it is. You can also see edits and activity about the file, and that activity is useful to help you monitor it. Okay, sharing in OneDrive. As I've said, we're going to select the document that we wish to share, and then we go down to that share option. Of course, within the sharing options, we get a few choices. So you can go down to the copy link, and what's nice about the copy link option is you can go in and you can then email that out, and people can just click on it, and you've got granular control over who can edit it. So you can make anyone can edit it, or you can change it so just particular individuals can do it. I quite like doing that with Word documents and PowerPoint. So I might set a couple of live docs up, say for some group work, and then I will grab those links and I will drop those links into Teams, or if I'm using another platform, I'll make it available maybe over email or something to the groups and say, here's your link to your document. You're all working on this document. Off you go. Then I can go in and follow that link, and I can live see what the young people are working on as they collaborate it. So that copy link option is absolutely essential when sharing in OneDrive. And I said you can have it so anyone with a link can edit, or you can start making granular changes and start entering names and email addresses. And you can see you've got quite a lot of granular control over whether it's groups of people, if you set up an Office 365 group, or if it's just particular individuals. And I can take their rights away, so I can give them that access for a period, and then I can take it away. So I wonder if I hopefully you can now see my Office 365. So if I sign,
we can see it.
That's good. So hopefully I'm already signed in it, and it's come up with my sessions today. So if I go into my Word document here and create myself a new document, in terms of showing you how to get that link available, I can do that inside Word as well as doing it through OneDrive as well. So I'm going to click here on my share option. And at the moment, I can specify who I want to view. So hopefully if I type in Niall, look at that.
Hey, it's worked.
Would you?
Yeah, go with that one. That one should work.
Perfect, nice. Niall's so new, he's not got his profile pictures set up yet. So that'd be a job for you to do afterwards now, so you have to do
Yeah,
that.
that's absolutely my first job.
So currently Niall is down there to view. I can also change it so he can edit it. And I've also got the option here to look at the link settings. In terms of the link settings there, I can then decide whether or not make it a bit wider. Can anyone at Tablet Academy edit it? Just people with existing, so I can catch that. You've also sometimes got controls about whether you want to be able to block downloads as well. That's quite useful if you want to force people to keep working in the cloud. So I'll send that to you there, Niall, and hopefully you'll be able to jump yourself into the document as well, because you'll get an email notifying you but he'll also be able to access that through his OneDrive as well. Did we have a question?
Yes, we've got a question there from Miss Cackett asking about how to see both the rulers on the web version of Microsoft Word.
Excellent. So I can see now that you've managed to get yourself in and you've live typed in there. And if you've got groups of children, being able to watch them, and quite often once I'm a practical subject, so I never have more than 20 people in a class. So that I'm sure makes some people mad because they're dealing with full classes of 30 plus sometimes. I have 4 or 5 documents on the go, and I split them around my screen so I can see what everyone's doing, and I can watch all the different documents. And I like doing that because it just makes sure I've got an eye on the learning as well as circulating around. In terms of being able to view the rulers, I'd like to think.
Thinking it is under View and then Rulers.
Oh, so I went to View tab, Ruler, and then I've got that ruler switched on there. To show the vertical one, I wonder if there was
try going advanced and then scroll down the page to display section. Is that an option there? Maybe under File, Advanced.
Yeah. So I was expecting to see advanced in there.
Yeah.
Well, but it wasn't leaping out at me. But
so there is a setting, certainly on the app version, like on your Windows device, that should say to show vertical ruler in print layout view.
Yeah.
So hopefully that will work for you.
I would say I'd expect to see an advanced option there. I am on a rather old device, so sometimes that limits what you can see. So I would certainly have a check there. If not, come back to us. We'll work it out because that's certainly possible. So absolutely right. The web version doesn't have the full capabilities of the desktop versions, and you've experienced some difference as well if you're using Mac and using
a Windows device.
Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks, Niall. The words weren't coming to me then.
That's all right.
So one of the other things in terms of encouraging young people to collaborate, or also colleagues when they're working together, as well as getting people onto the live documents together. And I would say start simple with that type of activity. Throw a doc out there, let people connect, and then see how you go from there. I would be suggesting making use of comments. I think if I create myself a new comment here, I like to use the @ symbol and then select the person who I want to direct the comment to. Obviously, some conversation around digital citizenship with young people needs to go around that because sometimes they might like to tag in people they shouldn't. But that in my mind is just typical behaviour management type stuff. So well worth that covering. And then please check this. Shame I can't spell. And I can also assign it to Niall as well. So pop that in there and then send that off. And he's got the option to be able to reply or mark that item as done by saying that he's resolved the task by selecting resolve task there. In terms of if I'm wanting children to do a bit more work, I've jumped into their documents before or less, and I've put some comments onto it, and then I've got that expectation that they will go and make those changes after we've kind of given them a good run at it. So that was me diving into Word. PowerPoint, if we just jump in and look at a new blank presentation here, very similar look and feel. We've got ourselves our ribbons across the top. We've got our share options in the top right hand corner. We've got that comment facility as well. If we save our OneDrive presentation, it's automatically saved when we've opened it, and it will have put it into my OneDrive, and that's my Ian Vosser Documents OneDrive folder. I have the option there to be able to go in and change that. And as the document is changed, oh, I love the PowerPoint Designer. I have not seen that one. That is brilliant.
I like the skier. I've not seen the skier yet.
Yeah, I've not seen the skier either.
It's amazing that it just does that all for you automatically.
Yeah, that's a brilliant GIF. Effectively, that is a.
You're right, Mr. Haddad. It's very cool.
That is a GIF that is playing as a background, but you can also put videos in as well. So well worth using the designer tool, and that's the case, isn't it, of jumping in and seeing those things as it comes in. In terms of the third collaboration tool that I think is worth using with young people in terms of letting them create things on is Sway. Now, today's session is not about me talking about Sway. It's showing how Office 365 can be a launchpad into these products. We do have a Sway session coming up, don't we, Niall? So
yes, yeah, we've got a Sway session coming up very soon. I think actually Thursday.
Okay.
I'll double check that for you.
Well, check it. Stick the information in the chat, and effectively can allow you to create newsletters, do some digital storytelling. And there's real flexibility in Sway in terms of how it displays. So you can create it, but the reader, the person experiencing the Sway, has the ability to be able to change the look and feel. And if they're using something like Immersive Reader to be able to access it, they've got that really kind of nice opportunity to be able to personalise their learner experience. It is Thursday, we've been advised, and we've got people booked in already. So.
That's brilliant to hear.
That's fantastic. Okay, so that was Sway, and then the final Office 365 product I'm going to say is worth looking at in terms of collaborating, also taking you out of OneDrive, is Forms. And I would create forms, yes, to do surveys with young people, but also you've got the option to be able to create quizzes as well, which can be self-marking forms. So forms and quizzes, well worth doing. And if I just open up a new quiz there, really doesn't take very long to create yourself a quiz. And I think we've got a form session coming up in the not too distant future as well. So that's just a little plug for that. And if you don't want a quiz and you just want a form, that's how you access a form if you want to do surveys. So quizzes is if you know you're expecting answers from young people that you'll want to go in and mark. Forms if you're expecting feedback and you want to go in and undertake evaluations. That's how I split in my mind the idea between a quiz and a form. Quizzes is something I'm going to go in and mark and give feedback to, or potentially set up to self-mark, and forms is all about information gathering. Now, I said at 4:50 we'd have ourselves a kind of a short break and look at the Microsoft Educator Center. So I'm just going to dive into the Microsoft Educator Center, and I can access that by going into Bing and searching for it there. And hopefully in the you can't see the Microsoft Educator Center now. I'm not in. Hopefully when you get in the top right-hand corner, you've got the option to sign in. If you're signing in with a personal account, that's fine, or you can sign in with a Glow account as well. And just tapping in there gets me in. In the top right-hand corner, is your profile. You can change your profile picture. You also got the ability to be able to redeem achievement codes. We'll give you an achievement code in just a second. Niall might even drop that in the chat for you. That will just register.
Yep, I'll do that just now.
That will just register that you've been here. But you've also got the ability to be able to go and look at different training courses and learning paths. If Office 365 is something that you want to dive a bit more deeper into, I've just gone to training and I've selected the courses menu, and then I've scrolled down, and in the product options I've selected Office 365 as a product, and you'll see there's lots of courses that talk about using Office 365 both for primary and secondary, remote learning, hybrid learning, being student centered. So that is well worth popping in. So if you've got a few moments now and you want to go into that that learning center, redeem your achievement code. We'll also include it in a follow-up email as well. So I just popped the redeem code in there, and then it's a kind of custom training about Office 365. But you'll be able to go into your profile after that, and you'll be able to view your transcript, and that transcript will hopefully show you all the Microsoft activities you've done. I'm on the wrong account really for demonstrating. This has all been custom training things that I've done with Tablet Academy Scotland. I should be showing off my Glow account. That's got
show off all your badges.
That's got loads of great badges in it. Yeah, I love a badge. So you can get badges by doing training, like you're doing this evening. But you can also get badges by doing trainings yourself through the portal. So we're kind of going to move on to Microsoft Teams now. So I'm not sure if you want to share your screen there, Niall. Or...
Yeah, we'll give it a try. Yep. If you just give me 2 seconds.
I'll hand over to you for the next bit.
Okay. Where are we? We are in here. How's that looking?
That's.
Are you seeing everything, or are you seeing?
That's looking beautiful. I was looking at the wrong screen.
Perfect. Yeah, so now we're going to have a very quick dive into Microsoft Teams. And we're going to use the skills checklist to keep track of the features that you'll see and experiences along the way. So getting started with Microsoft Teams, I don't know your experience, pop it down in the chat. Let me know if you are using Teams on the daily, if you were using it during lockdown and all of our home learning, or if you're here just to get started and start learning about it. Certainly, I have really thrown myself into using Teams recently, and it's made the world of difference. I am absolutely loving it, and I've got a few kind of hints and tricks to show you as we go. So I'm just going to move, my camera there. So Microsoft Teams is extremely versatile, which means there's loads of tools and features that we're going to talk about today. So you'll see some of those on the screen just now. Don't worry, we will go through kind of all the main points and the important points for you today, just to get you started, give you a few tips and tricks to get you going. So we're going to learn about the basics, finding your way around the Teams app, so you can start thinking about how you might use that in your classroom. We'll start small and we'll add to that as we go on. Okay. So we are going to start with, hold on, that just jumped there. So we're going to start with the me space. So there's 3 main spaces that we're going to talk about today. We're going to start with the me space. So this is all of the things that are important to you and your account. So the space includes 2 areas. The first area is the app bar. That's showing you there. There we go. So the first space that I'm going to show you is the app bar. So that's down the left-hand side. So that's got things like your waffle, your activities, all the chats, all the teams that you're a part of. You might have that, all of your different classes. Maybe you've got a staff team that you're using. Maybe you're using it for an after-school club as well. That's where all your teams are going to be stored. So clicking on there is going to take you to all of your different teams. You've got information on your assignments. You've got access to your calendar, your calls, your files, and you've got your 3 dots there, and which is a couple more settings, and you've got your apps as well. So that's going to give you access to everything that you're using. When you're selecting something from the app bar, the left rail, it will change to show you the app that you're on. So if I select Teams, it's going to be highlighted just as we are on this, this image here. Here we are. Okay, and the second part of the Me space is we've got the left rail. Okay, so this is called the left rail. And when you select one of the bits from the apps, from that bar, you've got more information there. So here we are in our algebra Microsoft team, and we've now got information on the kind of general space for that. We've got extra credit corner, homework, help, subjects and units. So these are all the channels within there that will be shared with selected students or with all of your students there. Oops. There we go. I'm moving my mouse as we go. There we go. So there's the algebra part. So now we've got our we space. We talked about the me space and the personal space that's just for you. Now we've got the we space. So this is for everyone within your team. So the next space in Teams that we're going to get to know is the we space. It's got 2 main areas. So it's got the class navigation and it's got the tabs part as well. So that's going to highlight, there we go. Here is the class nav. So the first area is the class nav. It shows you which team you are in and the channel that is selected. Within a team, you can have multiple channels. For a class, your channels might be the units of study, subject areas, or even the student work groups. I found certainly in the primary side that using it for the areas of study worked really well. I know kind of upper years might use it more for the topics. They might use it for different classes they are in. Ian, how did you use it? Did you use it any differently? Maybe he's disappeared there. That's fine. I'll come back to that. So we've got the nav, and you'll see on screen that the team algebra is selected, and we're in the general channel for that team. Every team that gets created will have a general channel. You can see this on the left rail that is in your class with multiple channels. If a different channel is selected, the class nav will change to show that. Okay. So here we have the arrow pointing. So from algebra, it points up to general so that you know where you are. We've got, again, the general channel down the left-hand side. These are all the different channels within the algebra team. Up at the top now, you'll notice that it's highlighted. So these are actually our tabs. So tabs are options for each channel. Some tabs, like posts or files, are in every single channel. So every time that you create a Microsoft team, you are going to find that the posts and files are actually in there. But then you can also add in different tabs as well based on what your needs are for the channel. So you might have things.
Question, but it was somebody had phoned me. I was on the. It's like, you know, I've certainly got a team for every class, and then we've got staff teams as well. And then within the class teams that we've got set up, got that broken down. So we've got different units of work effectively as our channels.
As the channels, yeah.
Our younger year groups, we've got bigger teams, and they've got maybe a technologies team, and then within that they've got their business work, their computing work, and their tech work as well. So it's really about finding a way that works for you in terms of how you break your teams down, and then how you break your channels down from there. I'd certainly say if you've got a main teacher operating in a class, then it's better just to have a single teacher with that class, especially when you come to manage assignments and things. Sometimes with whole year group teams, that becomes a bit unwieldy if you've got 4 or 5 different teachers managing 4 or 5 different classes in one team. I try and go one class, one team.
Absolutely, yeah, and that certainly works best. It's quite nice if you do have, like Ian said, you've got multiple teachers in there. Maybe you are working within a multi-composite class, and so you're working with different teachers as well for your planning, your sharing of work and keeping those classes in together. It's quite nice to be able to share that work with your the other stages and with the other classes. But yeah, if you're all managing the same class and all the same channels, the same teams, then it can be a little bit convoluted sometimes. So it's absolutely up to you. Whatever works best, go with that. So I'll skip forward again. Sorry, I jumped back. There we go. So we're talking about the tabs and how when you create a Microsoft team, that you've got all your posts and files there. That's going to be the same for every single one that you create. But you can also add in some of your own. So you can add in different applications. There's absolutely loads on there. And see if you click on the plus, you can get things like Kahoot. You can get things like links to different websites. You've got loads of different apps in there that you can actually add in to your Microsoft team, just to make that experience more rounded, make it easier for everyone who is linked in to that team, to that channel, and yeah, it just makes it a fun place to be. So there we go, it just highlighted those tabs for you there. And here here's the third part. So we've got the Wii space, you've got the Me space, and you've also got the canvas. So a canvas is essentially the workspace for whatever you've selected. So if you look here, we've got the different posts, comments that have been created. So here we've got from Cara, please remember to turn in your assignment before the end of the day on Friday. And we've got a wee emoji there. A wee tip for you, if you're using your Windows device, if you click on the Windows button on your keyboard and the full stop, just at the same time, that's going to bring up your emojis. And when you search for something, whether that is magnifying glass or house or cat, it's going to bring up that emoji for you. So I quite like to use the emojis at the start of my channels. So you'll see on the left side, where just under algebra, where it's got general, extra credit corner, homework help. If you stick an emoji at the start of that, it helps all of your learners really quickly to see what channel they're in, and just it just helps everyone to kind of yeah, just work out where you are. And especially for me as well, if I've got millions of different channels, millions of different teams, classes, staff teams on the go, I quite like to use the emojis just as a wee tip. So on the Windows device, you can click the Windows button and full stop. Different devices, you can right click and emojis up at the top as well. So give that a wee try. So on the screen, you can actually see the workspace for the posts tab. So up at the top, you've got the tabs on the ribbon up at the top, and we are currently in posts. You'll see that it's got the purple bar just in below it. So within posts, you can post in your all of your reminders. This is where your work is going to go, just as kind of like a feed for all of the information that gets posted up there. So you can communicate with your students, you can leave comments, you can talk to everyone there, and you can also press the @ symbol as well to mention someone, so they'll get a wee notification just to say that they've been mentioned in a comment in there. So remember, when you set up your Microsoft Teams app, the teams could also be something else. So they don't have to just be a class. You could set them up to be an after-school club, or maybe like a teaching group, or anything really that you like. It doesn't just have to be a classroom. And when you're setting your teams up, there's actually that option to select the different group that you're wanting to create. So if you select a different tab up along the top, channel, team, or app, the canvas will actually change to show the workspace for whatever you have selected there. So for example, when I select chat in the app bar, so you can see that on the left-hand side, and a specific chat in the left rail. So we're working from left to right here. So we can click on chat, and then the left rail, where it's got algebra at the moment, you can select your chat from in there, and then the canvas, so the big box on the right, is going to display that, and it's going to show the full chat log in there. Okay. So what features do you notice in Teams? So I've added you into a practice team called Teams. No, I'm not. Ian, is this an extra thing in there? Hold on. That's fine. So yeah, we've been talking today about the app bar on the left side, and then we've also got the left rail in the middle. Up at the top, we've got our tabs for each of the classes. So you've got your algebra team here, and within that, you've got your channels: general, extra credit corner, homework help. So let's just move through these so that you can see them all. So here we go. On your left side, you will see that we've got the activity, the chat, the teams, the assignments, the calendar, the calls, and the files, just bigger so that you can see that. So we're going to show you just now one of the teams and just kind of something just to show you what it looks like in real time. Obviously, you are following this this meeting. So if I'm just going to share my screen for you now. Here you go. So you should all now be able to see my screen. So here I've got this is my, again, as Ian was saying, this isn't my personal or my teaching one. This is my Tablet Academy one account that I'm using here just to show you. So within here, I've got my test class and I've got my primary 7 class there as well. Up on the right hand side, we've got the option to join or create a team. So as we were saying before, you can create teams and you get the different options, or you can share your code to join in your team. So I'm going to create one just now, and we've got these options here. So you could use it in your class for sharing your work, sharing all your learning. Maybe you want to share your certificates from the week, and you can do that in your class one. We've got our Educator working group. So this is more for kind of like teachers all working in together. We've got our staff, admin and development, and other. So this could be your after school clubs, these could be your football clubs, these could be maybe your gardening group that goes out at lunchtimes. It's absolutely up to you. Kind of more focused on the extracurricular work in there. We're going to go for class just now. And we're going to create our team. So let's go for our collaboration class. Okay. And we can then let people know about this team when they're signing up, put in a wee description. So a team for...
So Niall, signing up for a class one, the big advantage of the classroom is the class notebook is obviously automatically created, whereas any of the other options, you don't get that notebook. So if you're going to do something with colleagues and you're like, actually, we might need a notebook, and like create a class team, because then you're going to definitely have a class notebook built in. So I guess it's just worth bearing that in mind. You can't
That's a great point.
note back in after you've created it. But you could create OneNote, of course, but it's not a Windows notebook.
Yeah,
cool.
So absolutely. And certainly, I mean, using the notebook has been a game changer. And somebody in work today was asking about, can we make one just so that we can share some ideas and get things written down. So using that class and getting that automatic notebook is a game changer. So yeah, we enjoy using that here, certainly. So now that we've created our team, we can start adding people in. So I can start adding in. So I'll add Ian in as a teacher. So I can hit add, and he's now going to get a notification, and that's going to pop up in his Microsoft Teams app. So I can hit close, and here we go. We've got, just as we were saying before, we've got our the app bar on the left side. Then we've got our the left. What was that called again? I've gone mind blank there. You've got the left sides on the left, and then we've got a canvas here on the right. So I'm going to click in here, and I'm going to click Manage Team. If I need to add anyone in, I can do that from there. If you've got any pending requests, so if anybody is asked to join the team, then they're going to show up here. We've got our different channels within here, so we can add in channels. So this is where I might want to put in my Windows button and full stop for my emojis. So say for this collaboration class, we're going to be doing a little bit of maths work. So I'm just going to type in maths or math. And here we've got our plus, minus, and our divide sign. So I'm just going to hit the division sign, and I can type in maths. We can change the privacy as well. So anyone can access that team, or we can make it private as well, so accessible only to a specific group of people within the team. So that's the channel, sorry. So only the people who basically are allowed to enter can see that team there. So I'm going to hit next. And now we can add in those people. So I can add in Ian this time as a student. And there he is. And I can hit done. Now Ian's going to be added in. He's going to be able to see the maths channel on the left there, and you'll notice that it has a padlock there as well. So that was because we set it to be a private channel. So only those who are added into that channel can then see that channel. So here we are in our class. I'm going to come back so we've got our general post up there. Ian has said hello. Hello, Ian. Thank you for joining us. So what's quite nice about the canvas here for the posts is that I can add in comments. So I can send Ian a message by typing @ and putting his name in there. Thank you for joining us. Enter to send it, and then I can also add in a GIF as well. So you can start searching for something. So maybe we're typing thank you, and there we've got a cool wee, oh, he sent us a, a thumbs up there, and I've got my GIF in there for him as well. So I'm just going to hit send. There we go, we've got our nice GIFs for everyone. We've also got our class notebook. So I'm just, sorry, there we go. So we've got our class notebook to set up. So let's go to class notebook here. So we're going to set up our OneNote class notebook. I'm going to make a blank notebook. And I'm going to hit next. Now, again, this is where we can add in our emojis. So we can put in things like handouts, could be paper. There's a bit of paper and a space. Class notes, in a book. Space. We've got homework. All very similar emojis here. Let's make them a little bit different. Homework could be a pencil. There we are, pencil and paper, perfect. And the last one could be quizzes. So here I'm going to put in maybe a question mark. So again, Windows button and the full stop, and I'm going to put in question mark. There we are. Now I also quite like to put in another section there in the class notebook for questions for my teacher. So I'm going to put that in just now. So if you've got any students who are collaborating on a piece of work, maybe we're doing a whole class piece of work, we're all working on it together, and they've got questions. Maybe they don't feel comfortable sharing that with the group. Maybe they are going to want to come back to that at another time. We can create that space on our class notebook so that they can all collaborate in together and put in their questions that we can come back to another time. So questions, I'm just going to put in, oops, my emoji, remember Windows key and full stop, and I'm going to type in question, and there we have our two pupils, questions for my teacher. And now I can hit create. So it's just going to get that ready. So if we just give that 2 minutes there. So it's just loading up. Here we go. So here is our class notebook. Now you'll notice on the left, before we do anything, we have the search bar, so we can search for any information that we're needing, any pieces of work, or we've got all of our sections here as well. So within our class notebook, we've got welcome, collaboration space, content library, and teacher only. So the collaboration space, we've got that's the place where everyone can put in their notes in together. We've got our personal space as well as a student. We've got all of the sections that have their emojis in there, and we've also got the teacher only space where you can put in your notes for your lessons that you can then share out later at another date. So we're going to use our class notebook, but we're also going to open it up somewhere different. We're actually going to open it up in the OneNote application. So I am going to go to File, and then I'm going to click Edit in Desktop App, because I've got something that I really want to show you. Ian, are you still able to see my screen?
Yeah.
Perfect. Is it still the application?
I'm not sure the OneNote app. I don't think we can see that open yet.
Let's try that again. Let's go for 2 seconds. Let's try that again.
Few people have maybe had a bit of difficulty with the OneNote app.
Okay.
Slower camp. I'd say hang on in there. Hopefully it will get better.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. We can come back to that. So one of the things that I was actually going to show you today was how you can add your stickers in to your OneNote app. There's a lot of editable stickers when you're using the OneNote app, and you can put things like a sticker that says "Well done" and put in their name. So "Well done, Ian." You could put editable images. It's got fruit, I think, is one of the other ones in there. But you can also, within our online version and through the Teams, I will show you just now. We'll just continue here, and we can add in stickers. Hold on, let's make it a bit bigger. There's stickers, and on the app, oh, there we go. We've updated on Teams. Oh, fantastic. So they've actually put them onto the Teams app there. Amazing. So we've got our well done sticker. So I can change that to say well done, Ian, exclamation mark, and done, and I can actually insert that into our class notebook. So once that's done, there we go, and I can then move that around to wherever I'm needing that to be, whether that's on Ian's work, whether that's on a whole class piece of work, we've got that there. So I can come out of that. We've also got the maths option as well, which is amazing for your collaboration. So if I go to add a page, so here's my blank page that we've got within our collaborative work, and I am going to draw in a piece of maths for everyone. So obviously this is really simple. I know you all know the answers, but let's go for 10 plus 3 equals. Okay, now if you put that question to your students, maybe they could set that to each other. They could use multiple different ways. You could talk about that as using the fingers, using beads or whatever. But within our class notebook app, we've also got the ability to use the maths function in there. So I'm going to highlight this piece of work. Maybe it was set to each other, maybe it was set by the teacher and they need to work out the sum. We can actually click on the maths button there, and we can click evaluate that sum, and there we get the answer of 13. Okay, so it's just a neat wee trick for you in there, using the collaboration part within Class Notebook. Everyone can see that. We're all doing that. Well, everyone can see the sum that's in there. We are all answering that together. It's got just a kind of neat wee trick for you in there. Within our class notebook, again, we said down the left-hand side, we have the different channels within there. So I'm going to come back to our, let's go back to our class. We've got our general. We've also got our files up at the top. Up, there's Ian put, it's only Tuesday. I'm loving that GIF in there, Ian. So we've got the ability to upload our class materials. So that'll take us straight to files, and again to set up the class notebook, which we already have. So we're going to go to files tab on the top there, and we can then upload any of the work that you're going to set your class. Maybe you've got some activities, learning activities that you're going to be expecting your class to do, to share with each other. Maybe you're wanting to get them to work on the same PowerPoint at the same time. Maybe you want to get them to work on the same Word document at the same time. This is where you're going to post that work in your files tab in here. So we can add in the class materials. I've not got anything in there yet, but I can just hit on either new to create one of these documents, or I can hit upload one that I've already created. Okay, so Ian mentioned earlier about the collaboration aspect. So here we are. We've created a document within our space. We can add in a conversation up on the right-hand side to talk to all of our students who are working on this at the same time. We can comment any of the about all the work that's in there. So we can put at Ian. So I'm going to type in great work for, may you finish this off before 5 p.m. on Friday. And we can assign that to him as well. So he has to tick that it needs to be done once he's done it. So then we can click send. We're going to grant him access, share, and notify. So now he's got access to this document. Okay. We're going to come back. And we are going to go back to our tabs. So one of the things I'm going to show you today is we can actually add in different tabs. So Ian, on Glow, do you have all the same options here as I've got? Do you know? Or so I've got things like Kahoot that I can add in. I can add in tabs into my PowerPoint. Ian?
Quite different apps in Glow. So if there's something that's not there that you think should be there, talk to your Glow key contact at your local authority.
Perfect. So Ian was saying there, if there's something in here, maybe you're trying it out at home, maybe you're trying it out somewhere else. If it's not in there, something that maybe you've seen online, maybe it's on Twitter, maybe Instagram, TikTok, have a wee word with your Glow key contact, and they'll chat to you about adding that in for you there. So one of the things I really like to put in is Kahoot. It gives you the option to actually share your quizzes and straight within Teams. It's amazing. You can create all your old Kahoots that you've already created. You can share them directly within here. So all I would then do is hit add. It's going to ask me to sign in, isn't it? Add Kahoot. Although it might be okay. And then hit save. Oh, amazing. So there we go. We've got one that I have already created. In fact, I think I created this a year ago for my students when we were trying it out. So we've got 10 questions in there. We can hit play and we can share that out with our students as well. So I can actually comment. And you'll see on the right hand side that we've actually got a chat as well. So we can chat with our students as they are playing the games and chat about whether they enjoyed playing that or not. Ian, have you got anything to add in there about using Teams for the collaboration work? Oh, I forgot about Meet. Oh my goodness me. So one of the main things that I was going to talk about today was the use of Meet. Clearly we are in a Teams Meet just now, and you've all managed to get here, which is amazing. So up on, there we go, it says down in the canvas that I've added the Teams. Amazing. Sorry, the Kahoot tab. So on the right hand side, you'll see we've got the option for using the Teams meeting. So if I click on the down arrow, I can either meet now with my students or I can schedule a meeting. So that's going to take me over here to the calendar, and I can create the scheduling assistant. I can create an event for our students to all join. So I'm going to add in my title. So the title will be maybe we're going to talk about data that day. So data, maths, and I can then add in my required attendees. So I'm going to add in Ian's name. So now he's going to get the notification to say to join our meet. I can set the date and time as well. So 5:30 on the 14th, that works for me. So that's in 8 minutes. We've got the option to change it to does not repeat. So I'm wanting to do this every week. We've got our location, so we can choose where we're going to have that, and we've got details about the meeting. So you can then post in links to any of the documents you're going to be using. Maybe you're going to share a link to a Microsoft Word document you've created. You can pop the link into there. So up at the top, you can see we've also got the scheduling assistant as well. So I can see Ian's timetable and see if he's got any other meetings that are going on at the same time. So we can then collaborate together. You can see that we've actually got the Captivating Collaboration meeting stored in there. So we know that we're busy up until, well, there we go, moves along the way. So we could have done it at 2 o'clock, but we missed that. So we'll come back to the details there, and then we hit send to share that with Ian. So he knows that we've got that meeting every Tuesday at, it's going for 2:15 is when I was last clicking. So I can, if I've got my students there, I can, or the staff members that I'm wanting to chat to, I can click on Meet. You can see me, there's my camera. If you're needing to change anything, you can come into the right side and you can change the webcam, the speakers, the microphone that you are using, so that you can chat to all of your staff members, all of your friends that are using that, and then hit join now to join in. So I wonder
I think Niall's muted himself by making another call, which muted me as well. I'll just see if I can get him back. Hold on, folks.
Oh no! Was I muted that whole time? Oh no! I'm back now.
No, you can you hear me? Yeah, you
Yes.
just went to make the call to me. It booted us both out of the call we were in. So put it on
Oh
hold.
no!
Good demo though. Good demo.
Oh. Oh, I'm so sorry about that.
Anyone time, my friend.
So where did we get to?
So literally just called me. I wonder if you also just demo the Microsoft Educator Center code bit and show people how they get some more information about Teams.
Yes. So I'll show that just now. So if you give me 2 seconds. So I'm just going to share a window. So you should be able to see my window here. So hold on, let's get rid of this part. Okay, so I'm going to search for the Microsoft Educator Center. And here we are. So the Microsoft Educator Center has all the information that you could possibly need. And this was where you signed in to put in your code. So I'm just going to log in here. So remember, again, to redeem your code from today, we've got the redeem achievement code. So that's just where you'd paste the code in and hit redeem. You've got the option for training as well. So all of the courses are in here. I think there's hundreds, is there not? Yeah, down at the bottom, we've got pages, over 205 paid results for us to follow. I'm just going to type in Teams. If my internet's going to work. Hold up. Let's try reloading that. Right, okay, so here are all of the options for studying about Microsoft Teams. So we've got Master Microsoft Teams with any learning environment. So I can click on that. And once you have selected Start Learning Path, on the right side, you will notice that it has the badges for you. So once you complete all of this learning path in this course, you will receive the Master Microsoft Teams for any learning environment badge. Within that badge, you've got loads of different badges as well. So we've got things like structuring teams through channels, tabs, files, and apps. We've got collaborate with colleagues through live Teams meetings and OneNote. We've got working collaboratively with staff and the whole educator learning teams. We've got assign and assess students with assignments and forms in Teams. Converse, collaborate, and build community in Teams, similar to what we were doing today. And we've got, lastly, assembling students and staff within Microsoft Teams meetings. So you can do any of these individual courses if you like, or you can follow the full 6-hour learning path, and you can get that all of those badges for your account there. If I go back, there are also a lot shorter courses as well, so you can actually choose your activity as whether you want it to be just a single course. So there's one, the reading fluency practice with reading practice course is only 1 hour. There's a new one that's just gone up recently, so you'll see it went up on the 23rd. So that's one that you're going to need to check out. We've got the difficulty as well. So on the left side, if you're wanting something that's a bit more for beginners or for the advanced options as well, you can choose that from the difficulty on the left. Any that you've started already or that are in progress, so we can go completed to see the ones that you've already done, or the ones that you've not started if you've not done any yet. You've got the option for the subject as well down the left, the age group. So if you're wanting one for the younger years, you can, or 18 plus, you can choose from there. Loads and loads of different options. Duration is a good one as well. But yeah, so today you'll notice that our code that we've given you actually gives you the, so it's because it's a 2-hour code. Let me just see my, I've not got mine. I must be on the wrong account there. You're going to be given the MIE badge for completing today's course. So I'm just going to double check that how everybody's getting on with putting in that code there. So Ian, are you able to pop the code back in the chat just so that everyone can put that in?
Will do.
Perfect, thank you very much. And again, just so that you remember, if anyone's not done it yet, so it's up on the right hand side, just log in or create your account if you're needing to, and then hit redeem achievement code, and it's gonna, you can paste in your achievement code there. In fact, I'll do that to here as well. So there's our code. Paste that in. Oh, that's strange. Let's try that again. Here we go. Redeem achievement code, paste and redeem. And there we go. We've got the following training. We've got our certified Microsoft Innovative Educator badge has appeared. So now I can actually go to my profile and I will see that I have my MIE badge. So I can view the details and the certificate as well if I'm needing to. Now, so it's got my name, has been awarded this badge, and it's got the date. So great for your CPD, keep it on top of everything. If anyone's needing to see the certificates of your work, or if you want to store them anywhere, you can actually get them from the MEC, the Microsoft Educator Center. So that's the basics, the real basics of the Educator Center there. Once you've got all the badges, Ian's is covered. He's got millions. I think it's about 3 or 4 in a line that they put, and it just keeps going down and down. So yeah, that's where you're going to find all of your badges. How are we looking for time, Ian? Is it a good time for surveys or a quick chat and question and answer from everyone?
Surveys and wrap up and question and answer. I think that's all looking really good.
Perfect.
Thanks very much for that, Niall. I think, you know, people might have specific questions about teams, but in terms of just getting that kick-off and roundabout tour, I think that's been really, really cool.
Yep. Perfect. So if you've got any questions, please feel free to pop them into the chat. And we can answer those for you. If you don't have questions, we've got a very quick survey for you to share. So I will just get that for you just now whilst you're typing any questions you've got. Yes, can you show us the app again, please, Ian? Have you got the my mind's going totally blank. the scanner app from the start. Ian's typing. He'll drop the links in. So the link there that I've just posted takes about 20 seconds, 30 seconds to fill out. Was just wondering if the Explorer Office 365 on iPad will be covering the same content as this, or is it for a different badge? So you will get a different certificate for joining us on that session. You'll also, so the way the badges are working is, because we've created the content ourselves, it won't be a physical different badge, but you'll still get that different certificate for joining us on the 2 different calls. So it will be technically a different badge, but you won't get a different MIE badge. So your MIE badge is for studying for the longer than 2 hours, I believe, certificate, which you will have done by the end of today. So you'll get your MIE, you'll get your captivating collaboration certificate and badge, and you will also get your Explorer Office 365 if you join us for that session as well. Okay. And there's Ian has posted the link to the Microsoft Lens PDF scanner. And will the content be similar to today's content? So it will be, yes, it will be starting, it will be similar in the fact that it's all the Microsoft products and how we can access them on an iPad. Obviously, things are a little bit different to using a Windows laptop, as I am just now. Things are a wee bit different, but we'll be showing you how to make the most of that, and things like the collaboration, things like using Office 365 as the kind of like the web-based version. So it will be different, and you'll learn different skills, but it'll be very similar in the fact that we'll be talking about the same and similar applications there. Certainly, as Ian said, it'll beginner level again. Are all of this course over the next 2 weeks beginner level? Yes, most of it will be focusing on the beginner level. We've got things, let me just load up our sessions for you, if you give me 2 seconds. So if I go Tablet Academy Scotland, and if I go to the first search, and I go into events, we'll have all of our events in here. And within each of the events, it'll give you a little description, or it should do, of what's coming up and what to expect in that one. So for example, we've got Microsoft Education hints and tips to engage learners and impress your colleagues. So that's going to be things like different tips. So we expect you to already be logged in, and we'll expect you to already be using the products. Here's a couple of tips to support you with that. So it's not going to show you how to log in, essentially. Same with Teams as well. Tips to support learning and teaching in your school. They're not going to be super advanced. It's going to be just the little things to make all the teachers' lives that little bit easier. So the expectation will be there that you're able to log in, you've already created your classes, here's your next steps, here's a few things that you can do. That's Ian just sending me a message to say, boot me if I'm not back at the end. Thank you, Ian. We've got a couple other events in there, next events as well. So we've got things like the accessibility and digital inclusivity. Again, we're taking it that step further. The expectation would be that you are able to log in. You've tried out these tools. Here's the things that you can do to make your learners' lives that little bit easier and support their learning to take it to the next step. So we do have beginner events, but we also got that kind of next step. There's nothing that's going to be super advanced, and nothing majorly hard. So don't worry about that. Excuse me there. So we've got. I appear to have 2 accounts for Microsoft Educator and signed up to this with my corporate email, and I've locked yourself out. Oh no, can I have this course added to my account that is set up with my Glow credentials. Sorry, that'll teach me to be over-eager and set up all accounts. Fair enough. One thing that you could do would be, you've got the code here for today. Use them for both accounts if you can. When I logged in under my Glow account and pasted in the code, it wouldn't allow it. Okay, that's we'll look into that. Certainly, Ian's got that Glow side covered, so we will have a look into that for you. Are we all right to contact you and email? I think there was, when you signed up for today's event, there was a tick box to say we could contact you and email you about future things. Thank you, of course. Perfect, thank you. We'll find that out for you and we will let you know. They should work with the Glow account. So I'm not sure why it's not, but we will certainly look into that for you. Oh, there's Pam's type in. So I'll share with you again the code for the survey today. If that's you finished, you've got no more questions, please do fill out that survey. We really appreciate it. It'll only take maybe not even 20 seconds. Great question. Great comment from Pam there, saying that we can look at advanced courses for you if that's something that you'd be interested in. We can certainly do that. Thank you. Thank you. I look after the digital skills support package for my LA and have signposted all heads this week to these offerings and asked them to share. Amazing, thank you so much. We've got loads of sessions certainly from myself, from Ian. We've got lots of MIEs as well as the experts coming in and showing off some of the amazing things that Microsoft can do. So thank you for that. We really appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. Hadid. Thank you. We really appreciate that. Yes, we'll be sharing it afterwards as well, so people can get the video and watch that, and they can update their skills that way as well. Obviously, we appreciate the world is more asynchronous now, so that is absolutely fine. People can't make exact live times, but we'll support them in other ways as well. So yeah, thank you. We really appreciate that. Thank you. It would be great to catch up to see you guys can advise bundles of courses that can promote staff. So amazing, thank you. Yes, it would be great to contact you. Yeah, we will definitely be in contact about that. Thank you for that. The survey link's not working for you, David. Give me 2 seconds and I will paste the longer version for you. Can you try that for me, please? Thank you. Cheers, Ian's done it as well. He beat me to it. Yes, more advanced would be good for people who are past beginner stages, maybe want to be able to support staff who are beginners. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I'm glad to hear that you're taking the learning and passing that on to others as well. So that's great to hear. Thank you. Great idea. Perfect. Right, I'm going to stop recording there, just as it's everyone's questions. So I'm going to hit stop recording.